meeting for Tuesday, March 9th.
Oh,
there's
there's Bob
Bob.
Phoenix.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. So roll call. Dottie Travers,
Present.
Dave Martin,
Present.
Peter Kupak,
Present.
Bob Phoenix.
Present. Apologize for my tardiness.
No problem. Mark Benjamin present. Greg Schlau is absent. Also present is Rich Shuck and Catherine Rose in the position of staff. So we do have a quorum. All 5 members will be seated. Communications, Rich?
None.
Acceptance of the February 9th, 2021 meeting. I was not present, so I'd rather not vote on this. So if I could get a motion, and I will be abstaining from voting on it.
Motion to approve minutes from the last meeting.
I second it, Dottie.
Any errors, omissions, or corrections?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor to accept the minutes as presented?
Bob Phoenix, aye.
Dottie, I.
Peter, I.
Dave Martin, aye.
Mark Benjamin abstaining. So minutes have been accepted as presented. All old business? Hearing none. New business? This would be a continuation, V2102, application of Richard Rushford for property located on 54 McClellan Avenue in an R40 zoning district. Assessors map 78, block 1, lot 63. Request for a variance of section 1.1 residential bulk requirements to reduce the side yard setback from 30 feet to 10 feet to allow for the construction of a carport on the west property line. Owner Richard Rushford. All right. Any?
I'll read the exhibit list.
Okay.
Okay. Exhibit A, ZBA application. B, elevational view. C, site plan. D, Uncas Health approval. E, site plan submitted to Uncas Health. F, assessor's card. G, public notice. H, a butters letter. I, memorandum to ZBA. And J, memorandum, photos, and documents.
Okay. So you have everything you need to proceed forward, Rich?
Yes.
Okay. Could the applicant please explain what you want to do and why you need to do it?
And
I'll construct a carport. It's my hope, actually, but and I can't go to 30 feet backspace because of the contour of the land. It's all downhill. I don't know what else you need.
Is there anywhere else on the lot that this could fit?
No,
Okay. Rich, could you put on the screen the either topo map or a site map, please?
Yep. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. So, Mr. Rushford, where is this gonna go? Right over to the right-hand side for like between the 156 and 429?
I could put a site plan up too.
Okay.
I've got one here. Somewhere in my exhibits. Okay, so this was the let me zoom out a little bit so you can probably see it better. Yeah, so this was the site plan that was submitted. So just to the left side of the house.
Yes. Well, facing the house on the left.
Yeah, if you're
Facing the house
facing the
is
house from the street, it's on the left.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually gonna be kind of right in this area right here.
Yes.
Okay. Six. So it looks like the grade drops from the front to the back about 12 feet. That make about sense, Mr. Rushford? So if you
Yes.
want, okay. All right. All right. Dave, any questions?
Not at this point.
Sorry, I'm running through the exhibits here. I found another plan that kind of shows it a little bit better in relation to the property lines. There we go.
Dottie, any questions?
No, I was looking at the plan I can see he has a problem because where the well is located, the septic system, it's kind of difficult. So that his only option is probably the location now regarding the carport where it should go.
All right. Peter?
No, I don't have any questions. I'm pretty familiar with the area.
All right. How about you, Bob?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, to the applicant, my question is, there was in the documentation a recommendation to, for better siting or more appropriate siting that would not require a variance. I apologize, I don't have to, I don't know if Rich can bring that, as a memo, I think it was, or correspondence to you from zoning. Oh, do you pass it? I think you passed it.
That's the plan that I sent. And this yellow highlighted dotted line is in the front is the 40-foot setback, and then it drops back at this area to the 10-foot setback.
Right. Yeah. And then you sent a letter to the effect that,
Oh, that was in the email.
yeah, that was it. It was an email, to the applicant. Is there some other compelling reason that you could not adhere to the recommendations of this letter, of this email?
Yeah, this is about the only place I could put it. I have room for it. And plus the slope of the land.
Okay. All right, that was the only question I had.
Are you basically leaving that 35-foot distance between the carport and so you can get out? So wide there?
Between the house and the carport.
There's a tree in the middle there.
Okay.
I can show you guys a current picture if you would like.
Please, Rich.
Need to find it. Okay, do you see that picture?
I do.
I see it.
So I'll be adding the topographical map and this picture to the exhibit list, and it'll be K and L.
And I wanted to leave room in case I had to get in the backyard for something between the house and the carport.
Okay. Rich, as you went through that exhibits that Bob brought up,
Yeah,
understanding that to be that if this were in line with the back of the house, it would be permitted at 10 feet, but because it's forward of the back of the house, that's why it has to conform to the 40 feet.
correct, because the way the regulation's written, if an accessory structure is in the rear yard it can be 10 feet off a rear or side property line. So that's where that rear plane of the house starts the rear yard. And that's why we see a jog here in this yellow line.
All right. Could you bring that back up, that sketch again?
That sketch? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I forgot I wasn't sharing that screen. Okay, so you were looking at this. Yep, the yellow line is what I was describing.
Right.
This is the rear plane of the house, which starts the backyard and reduces that setback.
Can you just put your pointer on where it's going to start now? Where the carport's going to start? Is it starting with the front of the house, or is it starting?
This is what I have. It's about even with the front of the house.
All right. So,
Set back a little bit from the front of the house.
right. So we're basically missing it by the length of the house. Then, if it had slid back the depth of the house, it would have been permitted.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the width of the house, I believe, if I'm reading what the assessor has for the dimension, is this area of the house, I believe, is 31 feet. If I can read what she has on there properly. So the front of this now is stepped back just a little bit from the front of the house.
All right. So about 2 feet of it's right, and the rest of it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe.
Dave, we'll go around again. Any more questions?
Can I see the topographical map again? Can you pull that up? Okay.
What I can see the 158, Dave, right around the house.
Yeah.
And then I see the next one. I don't see a grade on it, or 156.
This one here is 156.
Okay.
And then this one here is going to be 154.
Okay.
And then we go to 152, and the dark line is 150.
So we really. There's a 2 to 4 foot drop if we were to slide it back to the back of the house. Is that what you were looking at, Dave?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It doesn't look like it's that much of a slope until you get further back.
Right. Right. All right. I could see that as well.
So this, well, measuring, it's about roughly 96 feet back to the, 10-foot mark line there.
Yeah, but this is 33 feet deep. So if you brought your green line in 33 feet from where you started.
Yep. Let me delete this and start over again. That's 33.14 feet there.
So you're right, Dave. That lands right on the 156. So there's a 2 foot grade.
It actually, if this is the plane, it would be in this area here, which is a steeper grade. It's actually more of a slope right there at that 10 foot, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Because the back, if you maintain the 10 feet, this back corner would be a really steep slope right here. That's 2 to 4 feet in a matter of, maybe 10 feet, if less.
Yeah. But he wouldn't have to have it 10 feet away. He could move it a little bit further. There's pretty good flat area there.
We won't pass it.
Dave, any other questions or comments?
No, I'm all set.
Dottie,
No, I'm all set.
Peter,
I'm good.
how about you, Bob?
No, I'm good, thanks. I've seen everything I need.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rushford, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Once we close the once we close the hearing, Mr. Rushford, we won't be able to take any more testimony. So I'm going to ask 3 times if anybody wants to speak in favor of this, and then I'm going to ask in opposition. And then I'll give you one last chance. But once we close it, so if there's anything else you're going to want to add, you're going to want to give it to me when I ask the next time. Okay. Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this appeal? Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone else to speak in favor? Hearing none. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Any opposition? Any opposition? Hearing none. Rich, is there anything else you need to let us know?
I just want to add that the registered mailings did go out, the receipts of mailing. I have them in the file, so everybody was notified, all the abutters.
Okay. Mr. Rushford, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No,
Okay. All right. Hearing no additional testimony, could I get a motion to close this, please?
Motion to close?
I second it.
All
Dottie.
those in favor to close and go to deliberations?
Aye.
Aye, Dottie.
Peter, I.
Dave, I.
Mark Benjamin, aye. Unanimous motion to close has been granted. We'll close and we'll go right into deliberations. I'll reread the application. B2102, application of Richard Rushford for property located on 54 McClellan Avenue. The R40 zoning district, assessors map 78, block 1, lot 63. Request a variance to section 1.1 residential bulk requirements to reduce side yard setbacks from 30 feet to 10 feet to allow the construction of a carport on the west property line. Owner Richard Rushford. All right, we've had the application, we've heard testimony. If I could get a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the applicants.
List of hardship, please, Dottie.
Well, the hardship is the topography of the land. And what I said earlier, a combination of things, the well and the septic location too. Those combined.
Okay. A motion has been made to grant with a hardship stated.
I'll give it a second.
Okay.
Peter,
A motion made and seconded. All right. Dottie, it was your motion. Do you want to speak on any more on this?
No, I think I'm all set on it.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the hardship. I think there is a reasonable spot for him to put the carport that wouldn't require a variance. So at this point, I'm not seeing the hardship. I think if it would be shifted back to so that it would start at the back edge of the house, I think there's It might have to be a little bit more than 10 feet away, but there's still from the edge, but there's still a pretty reasonable spot to put it. So I'm not seeing the hardship.
Peter?
Well, I see the hardship and I understand what Dave's saying, but it's a reasonably rural piece of property. I'm pretty familiar with McClellan Avenue and the topography up there. And I don't see what harm a variance is for a carport for that piece of property. I truly don't. So I'd be in favor of it.
That's what I heard earlier. I agree with Peter on that. You're not putting up a garage there or a massive building.
Well, unfortunately, the variance would allow this to be a garage at any time. Although it's granted for a carport, once we eliminate that setback to 10 feet, it could be any structure there. Bob?
I'm with David on this one.
Oh,
I just feel if the building were pushed back to the rear plane of the main structure, it wouldn't take a whole lot of fill to level that that back corner and bring that up to a flat grade that the applicant needs. So I won't be voting in favor of this.
Okay. I tend to agree with both of you. The grade, although it does drop off pretty severe in the back, I don't see it. This is very difficult on this, trying to do it off a computer screen and not going out and see the site. But according to the topo, it does look like it could have been brought the grade up, a foot or 2 feet, and it could work. This pushed all the way forward.
Sorry, Mark, we lost your audio.
No, we dropped his call. Hold on a second. He probably doesn't even realize it. Oh, there he is.
Rich, you there now?
Yep.
All right. Using two devices, somebody called my phone and it canceled my audio.
Okay.
I don't know where I lost it, but I was in agreement with Dave and Bob. I think that by being so far forward, we're really pushing the envelope on a reasonable variance. Is any other comments? Dave?
I guess one thing I'd like to add, it's I don't know that I agree with the zoning rules, but the rules are and they're not the rules that I would write if I was writing the rules. But that's not what our board does. So, I'm not necessarily I'm not a fan of the rule, but that is the rule. That's all I'd like to add.
Okay. Dottie?
Well, I brought it up and I would probably end up voting for it. It still said, like they said, I don't know, somebody said earlier, it's to see it when you're looking on, on the computer here and the lines and all, but I still say that topography is there. I don't know what rules you're talking about. Explain yourself, David.
Oh, I mean, the zoning rule itself, I mean, if I were writing it, I would say that it, you know, that the side yard setback could be 10 feet also. But that's, like I said, that's, you know, that's the, we don't write the zoning, rules, you know, city council does that. And then we just deal with the hardships. And like I said, I don't see the hardship.
Peter, anything else before I call for a vote?
Oh, I know how I'm voting, so I
Okay,
just, I'm sorry, he's putting in a carport, to ask him to backfill, then he's gonna have to go to somebody else to get permission to bring fill in and, take all the precautions so that the fill doesn't run off into some stream and, or salamander stuff. No, I know how I'm voting.
okay. Bob, anything else?
No, not really. Again, to echo what David said, you know, I've had heartburn with a lot of the ordinance, changes of zoning that have taken place. And I know that spot zoning is an issue that many municipalities have to deal with, and it's unconstitutional. But I think in case, especially in Norwich, when you have a rural piece of property, similar to this, I mean, you know, there should be a different zoning overlay, you know, based on the density. You know, in town, sure, you know, setbacks need to be tighter in order for people. I beg your pardon. Setbacks need to be pushed out to the property lines as much as possible for people to have best enjoyment and use of their properties. And in rural areas like this, you know, the same really applies. So I'm not in favor of the way the ordinance is written, but unfortunately, the remedy to the applicant is fairly simple, and you know, I don't think there would be an environmental impact with bringing in some, you know, 2 or 3 yards of fill.
Till somebody complains about it.
All right.
Well, that's
Any,
why we have a permitting process.
any additional comments, anyone, before I call for the vote? Hearing none. All those in favor to grant this application?
I said yes.
Dottie Grant,
Peter,
Dottie
yes.
Grant.
Peter to grant it.
Dottie and Peter both to grant. All
Yep.
those opposed?
Bob Phoenix, no.
Dave Martin opposed.
Bob, please say opposed or grant or
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Bob Phoenix opposed.
opposed. All right, Dave Martin, you were opposed, correct?
Correct.
Correct. So Bob Phoenix opposed, Dave Martin opposed, Mark Benjamin opposed. Motion fails. 3-2. 3-2 opposed. Variance has been denied. All right. Other matters?
None.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Bob Phoenix.
Dottie second it.
All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, Dottie.
Peter, yes. Aye.
Mark Benjamin, aye. Meeting adjourned 7:35. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.